Welcome to RPG Maker MV Basics number 4. It's been a while since episode 3. If you want to get a refresher or caught back up, go watch episode 3. We were just moving into creating a chest and a character could find and starting to make a quest. There's a couple things I want to do as well that I might get into this episode, I might not. First of all, we need to fix something from last episode. We need to kind of at least show how to do this. If we go to our cursed cave where we had created our enemy, edit this to bring up... Now we have our bat, which is our only enemy that we ever encounter. And encounter steps are 30, you can see here. And our bat is times 2 when we encounter them anywhere on this map. We found out that they'd kill us almost every time. They're a little bit tough. So we want to go to the top here. Is what I just opened was the database. It's the gear icons at the very top. Now, within the database, we have actors, classes, go down to enemies, and we have bat. And here we can change the parameters. I actually have to learn a little bit more about this myself. I readjusted its attack. It was 30. Its attack and defense default was 30. And its magic attack and the magic defense were also... Well, let's set that up a little bit. It's 15. We're also 30, but I lowered them down to 10. But I'm going to lower... But it seems like they never hit me now. So I'm not quite sure. Now, this is also where it can give you an EXP and a gold reward. So, let's say it gives us 10 gold every time we kill them. And since the characters are pre-made in the database, for now, I'm going to go ahead and set that it gives us... I don't know, for now. We can worry about actual balancing later. We'll set it to 10, just to have it set. And I'll probably come back to this when it's more relevant later. You could set drop items, or, here. It could drop weapons or armor. And then the probability right here. Probability is... what's the chances of it dropping that armor? And 1 to 1 means it will drop that armor, right? Or something like that. But we'll cancel that. We'll cancel all of that. So we have those set. So this is basically how you would adjust it if your enemies are too difficult. And we're only using stock default RPG Maker stuff right now. So we'll apply this to make those changes and exit out. Now we want to make a chest, right? Let's go back to normal town because remember our character Admiral Yui here, and he just had a lot of banter, and he was saying a remarkable treasure was lying out in plain sight somewhere. Let's go back to the map. Let's make sure we are on the event. This is not the event. This is what the map. So we want to be on the event menu item. That's what gives us the grids again. And since it's in plain sight, let's make it like over on the other side of the statue, right here. And we can go to quick event creation and go to treasure, right? And then we can have this treasure. We could have it say it has a potion or magic herb, spell herb, or stimulant in it. Or it could have a weapon. But I'm thinking, you could even have gold and set the amount of gold. So this, to just simply plop down chests that one would find anywhere is easy. So let's just kind of, I think to make this tutorial easier, because I'm thinking ahead based on my research I've been doing in between episodes, because we're going to be getting into some slightly more complex stuff pretty quick. I think for now I'm going to put it on potion. And I hit OK. And there's our little treasure chest. We can go ahead and playtest this real quick. Save changes, yes. Let's see here. So, well, you know what? Let's move that. Because someone might... Well, see, I'm thinking about balance again, and I'm getting into that sneaky thing that's going to make me spend more time than I really need. If you're making your own game, you are wanting to be methodical and consider how things take place. Like, for me, I already know what I'm going to be doing, and this isn't an actual real game. I'll get into discussion about that in a little bit at the end of this video, but for now, we could talk to Admiral Yui here and see how, because this is what is the order of events. We're going to talk to Admiral Yui, then the player will be informed that there's a chest somewhere. He's like, well, hello there, blah, blah, blah. Have you heard the rumor? There's a remarkable treasure out in plain sight. So then we would go and find the treasure. Now we're testing this. And I just hit enter. Potion was found. So if we go to our... Let's see. Do we have to program in the inventory? I don't think we do we? Let's see. We might actually have to do that. No, I have to hit escape to open that up. So, we can go to items, and we see we have a potion. There it is. We gained a potion. Okay, so we can just, we know that works. Now we can exit out of our whole game. Test game. So that can stay there. So, that's the basic way. You can simply plop down a chest. That was insanely simple, really. Now what's going to happen next, though, is we're going to create a quest. But we're going to do this slightly less than basic. So think of this as a slightly more advanced. We're going to have Admiral Yui, since he already has all that dialogue, and he tells us about the chest, but he's not giving us a quest for the chest. He's just telling it to us, like it's dead static dialogue that has nothing attached to it. But whenever we find the chest, and then talk to him again, we want him to say something different, because we want to use this same NPC to now give us a quest. So we need to go into his edit screen. And if you look here at the event editor, what we're looking at, you can see on the top left here, this area here, it says conditions at the top, and you see switch variable, self-switch. But at the above conditions, you see a little tab, and it says number 1. Okay, that's an event page. What we're looking at here is essentially an event page. And then at the very top, on the top right half, you see big buttons that say new event page, copy. We want to create a new event page. And then you suddenly see over on the left, under Admiral Yu's name, a second tab that says number 2. But it looks identical. So we have to take this, and we have to kind of first we have to assign the image again. And I think it was people 4 right here. So we'll go ahead and fix that up. Now, his autonomous movement was random. So let's match that. And everything else is the same in the menus. He was walking. Okay. So here's a little bit of a lesson on how RPG Maker, the engine, does things whenever it's loading parts of the game when a player is playing. It loads event pages backwards. So if you have a really big game, and let's say you have so much going on involving this one NPC. Let's say we have like 20 event pages going on here. It's going to, whenever a character comes in, and I'm like, and I want to talk to the NPC Admiral Yui, it's going to search, and it's going to read what to do behind the scenes, like in the code. The game is going to say, okay, how do I figure out what to do? I need to start reading page 20, and then 19, 18, backwards all the way to page 1. Because this is logical, because all of your events, when you play them in order, things will change. Like event 1 and 2, like we're working with, has the beginning dialogue, and then we're going to open a chest, which is a separate item in the game, right? It could be on a different map. Well, maybe it can't be on a different map. It could be, well, you can have it however you want. But to simplify my explanation, let's say, it could be like, oh, I talked to this NPC, then I go and talk to Mother Mary in the church. And then I want to go back to Admiral Yui, and I want him to say something different after I talk to Mother Mary. Well, if the game is reading event pages starting with page 1, it doesn't know that I talked to Mother Mary. After I talked to Admiral Yui. So when I talk to Admiral Yui, it's reading page 1 first, which tells it to say, hello, I met you for the first time. Instead, it'll work backwards, and let's say it goes from 2019-18, let's say it gets down to 5, 6, like 7, 6, and then it hits 5. And then all of a sudden it says 5. Okay, we just read that in Mother Mary that you talked to Mother Mary, and page 5 is saying if you talk to Mother Mary now to load this instead of loading page 1 that says, hello, hi, I met you for the first time. Okay, I hope that explains it. I know it was a bit discombobulated. I hope that made sense. If it still sounds confusing, you can ask me in the comments section on my YouTube channel, or wherever you find me, on Twitter or whatnot. So, let's get back to this. The page 2 here, now we have these conditions, and this is a very easy way to do this. Now, we're getting into parts of game making with RPG Maker that gets more complex fast. But to keep it simple, I want to purposely keep this simple, we're doing it this way. And there are other ways to learn, which I may get into. But for now, I have that chest set to give you a potion. That's the treasure he spoke about. So we can go down to item on conditions and see what's already in the game. This is the default stock stuff RPG Maker started with. I didn't alter the database at all yet. And we might not for a little while, but we will eventually. So I set it on potion. So here's the deal. Now, this character is going to appears when the party has the specified item. Okay, great. It's telling us in the tooltip. Now, when we have a potion in our possession and then talk to Admiral Yui, the game will read page 2 first and see that we have potion 2 and then trigger this event. So we're going to start by assigning things like new dialogue, and we're going to create a quest as well. So just to start with, we double click the black diamond, and let's just bring up show text. Let's set his face. What did we use for him? Oh yes, we used the very dapper, he does sort of look like he could be the owner of a ship or the captain of a ship or something like that, doesn't he? I think he does. So let's set that. And then let's just quickly say, ah. Say, ah. And you say, ah, aha. I knew you had an adventurer's spirit. Good show. And hit OK. And now it added that in. Let's go ahead and apply. Let's go ahead and hit OK and do a real quick test. Save changes, yes. Now, we're going to do this as if we're doing it in order. Like if this was your game and it was your intention to have a guy, we want to talk to him first, and we get what we had before. Well, hello there, I'm Admiral Yui. Nice to make your acquaintance. You heard the rumor of the treasure of Zero Friction Town? I heard there's a treasure chest lying around town somewhere right in plain sight. I have no idea why a remarkable treasure would be lying out in plain sight, and no one could have found it yet, but it's true. I know I haven't found it. Have you? Now, we'll go and open... Oops, he's in our way. Now, let's open this up. Potion found. Dun, 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 dun. Now, this is where the new event should work. Let's talk to... Where are you going? Come on. Aha! I knew you had an adventurer's spirit. Good show. And there we have it. It works. Great. But now that we triggered a new event page and got that going, we want to start a quest. So let's exit this. And we're already at the 17-minute mark on this video. I didn't want to go too much over 20, but now we can go to edit, Admiral U again. Now remember, this is where you have to be. This is why I started in episode 1, stressing the importance of being organized. You really want to be organized. You might even want, if you're making a very large game, you might even want to keep pen and paper, like physical pen and paper, and or word processor or online note keeping of some kind. Something that's, to me, it's actually very easy to me, in this case, to have an actual notepad on my desk with a pen that I can flip through. It's, for some reason, in my brain, it's easier for me to sort through and order the pages in my mind and see them physically. But anyways, enough of that. So now we can go down to the next diamond, and we can think about a quest, right? Now, I believe this is another thing that's somewhat self-explanatory. I'll be honest with you. When I first started episode 1, I was very new to this. I had only just researched a lot of stuff. You know how, like, when you're interested in like, how to make bikes, but you've never made a bike, like a bicycle, but maybe you get online and you read about spokes and tires and handle grips and gear shifting and then you learn a little bit. You're not an expert in the field. That's sort of me. But that's how I was when I started this. But I was quite surprised at how easy it actually is to really get a working game up and running. I mean, we have almost all the parts ready to go that would go into a very basic but working game where you could write your own story. So we want a quest. And I think we want to keep this simple. Oh boy, now is the part where I'm forgetting. Okay, conditional branch. I believe we want conditional branch. Oh wait, maybe that was not what we wanted. Cancel that out. What we want to do is, I can't believe I'm forgetting this. What we want to do is, well, maybe we'll even save this for the next episode, is we're going to have a little bit of dialogue that says something like, let's go ahead and put that in, maybe. Oh, wait. Here we go. We want choices. This is what we want. Choices. Well, maybe we could put the dialogue in first. Let's just add in the dialogue here. Again, we have to keep adding the face. Don't want to forget that. So he just said something like, I knew you had an adventurer spirit. So now he could say something like, you know, you have the right makings of a full-blown adventurer. I say, there is this troublesome burden on the town. I think you could alleviate. And now that's the first part. We're gonna hit OK. We have to create another show text. Same face. There's a wily bad guy that's caused this poor town an awful lot of grief. I forgot how to spell grief. And how do you think you'd be interested? See, I'm wasting a lot of time now just writing story. This is why I wanted to keep things very, very basic. I didn't want to get carried away, but I am a little bit. Do you think you could handle this mischief? Is that how you spell mischief? Mischief maker and teach him a lesson? Okay, now I think that's what we needed. Now I think this is where we put the choice. I think. If I get this wrong... Oh, you know what? You have to tie it to the choices. I needed to make the choices now. So let's... Default is yes, no. So let's keep it that way. Yeah, this is... So now we can just do a little bit of erasing. Oh, actually... No, we do want this dialogue first. Because now what we'll say is when you say yes to him, he'll say... We'll have him say something. So you just told him, sure, yes, I'll do it. And he's happy about that. So it'll be like, good show. I know you can do it. This town and I would forever be grateful. And if you say no, he could say something. Well, let's set his face. He could say, he's deliberating, Right. He could say, right. I can't say I'm happy to hear that, but it is your life. Okay, so when you say no, nothing's going to happen. Let's go ahead and apply this. What we'll do is we'll carry on to the next episode 5. But we'll go ahead and apply this and test it one last time before I end this video. So now we've built up a lot of dialogue. I really didn't. So now the ordering is this. We start a new game. We want to talk to, where are you going, buddy? So he says the whole why hello there. You heard about the treasure. And then we go and we find the treasure. We found the potion. We talk to him again. Oops. We talk to him again. And he's like, aha, I knew you had an adventurous spirit. Good show. But now you should say more. Yes, you know, you have the right makings of an adventurer. There's a wily bad guy, blah, blah, blah. And do you think you could handle this mischief maker and teach him a lesson? So now we have the choices. Yes, no. So we could say yes. And he'd be like, good show. I know you can do it. This town and I would forever be grateful. And so far, that's all working as intended. So now I believe what's going to happen next is we can. Let me see if I got this right. I'll reiterate and correct myself in episode 5. But I believe now all we need to do is put the bad guy into the dungeon. Let's exit this, and we just need to put the bad guy into the dungeon. And we might put him way up here, right? Because you have to traverse the whole way up. Or, actually, I'll put him down. I'll put him right over here. And then put something funny in and say, ha, I bet you thought you had to go through the whole dungeon to find me. I tricked you. Or something like that. And then we put him in. And have him be our boss, right? And you kill him. And then that event, if you killing him, will assign that event to Admiral Yui as a new event page. Whoops, So we will eventually go in and make a third event page that shows that you killed the bad guy. And let me explain something here right before we leave. Oh, we're at 27 minutes. I'll go ahead and explain this in the next episode. Let me just end by saying thank you very much for commenting on my videos. I've had some really great comments. I know it sounds silly, but I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for following and subscribing to my YouTube channel and helping support and grow my channel. I appreciate it. I welcome any kind of feedback in the comment section. I'll try to have any and all good and pertinent information in the comments or in the description box below the video as well. And you can also follow me on Twitter. I'm Stratix Gaming on Twitter. I also have a Patreon that I believe I might rework. I might try to reorganize and better explain myself and even throw up a video. It's patreon.com/Stratix, STRATX. So thanks again for watching. Sorry I took the video to 30 minutes. I tried to keep it closer to 20 or 24, but I'll try harder in episode 5. And with that, I'll see you in episode 5.